Okay, today we're going to talk about the top 10 signs of a housing market bubble. So, welcome to Housing Bubble 2.0 News of the Week, or as I like to call it, another episode of As the Housing Market Turns. Today is October the 11th. Randy Patrick here, putting the realism back in real estate. Hope everybody is faring well. We're now into another month in the fall, and we're seeing some dramatic changes in the real estate market. So, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about some cool things today. But first of all, you know what? I always produce documents and kind of little write-ups here and there. So, if you want to check out From Bubble to Correction, then Crash to Crisis, how the housing market imploded in 6 months, send me an email right there. I'll send you my report. I haven't loaded it up yet for download yet, so I'll just send it to you directly out of my email, and we can go from there, okay? So cool. Just reach out to me. I'll get that to you as soon as I can. All right, guys. So this came out the other day, and this is the top 10 signs of a market bubble. We're going to work through them. So this video might be a bit longer than 18, 19 minutes, so probably that 25-minute mark. I'll try to talk as fast as I can, but here's the scoop. This is produced by John Burns Consulting. If you want to look up John Burns Consulting, they are a real estate consultant firm. They have offices around the country. They particularly chime in with regards to builders and price points and this and that, and obviously the overall housing market. They did produce this similar graph about 4 or 5 years ago, and this new one just came out. So we'll talk about that in a second here. We'll go through it. Basically, again, it's compiled by 73 executives that they had something called the Summit back in, on June of 2013. So that's been a while ago, but it was reviewed September 2022. So I guess they may have revised this for where we are today. There's two sides to it. The one side, the left side, will be qualitative signs, and then the right side is quantitative signs. If it's in green, or if whatever the item is, it is in green, that means it's not widespread. If it's in red, it means most prominent or prominent in most markets. So we can take out what's going on and figure it out here. So anyway, this again brings me back to a number of years ago when this stuff was actually happening. And I can tell you that I experienced a lot of this back in the day, and we'll see how it plays out right now. So basically, and we're going from 1 to 10. Normally we should go from 10 to 1, but easier to show things on an image this way. So basically, qualitative was luxury cars for the staff. When your salesperson parks their Lamborghini in front of the model home next to your land acquisitions VP Land Rover. So yeah, that was back in the day. Quantitative, very high supply when single-family construction volumes approach historic market highs. Well, guess what? That was back in the day. What do we have right now? Yeah, do we see people doing well in real estate? We sure do, making money. Yep, if they're playing the right part of the game. Do we have high supply? Well, we don't have high supply with respect to we're gaining more supply on the existing homes, but on the builder side, on the new construction homes, we are almost at we're at like 11 months, almost 12 months of supply. So we're back to the quantitative, very high supply. So there's no doubt that's actually happening again. Number 2, multiple homes for everyone. When your hairdresser, cab driver, or nanny buys multiple homes, and your trades are fighting to get on the VIP list for all the parties and stuff like that, or in open houses and stuff. So now, do we see people buying multiple homes? We actually do. The reason being, we see a lot of second homes, vacation homes, people doing Airbnb, people doing cash flow rentals, whatever. During the pandemic, we saw people, maybe keeping a home up north, but buying a home someplace else where they could relocate to for various reasons, etc. So we did see multiple homes for more people. From the quantitative side, very poor affordability. Yeah, prices got out of control. Like last housing crisis, they got out of control. And now when you've coupled that with very high mortgage rates, basically we're at the most unaffordable time in housing in the past 20 some odd years. So definitely that's all kind of happening again. Number 3, outlandish parties. So yes, back in the day, you had lots of mortgage companies, title companies having big-time parties, bringing clients out there, bringing their sources, etc. That was going on. We're seeing that again. A lot of mortgage companies, or at least a while ago, were doing parties. Title companies as well too. Some mortgage companies have now pulled back because of the high interest rates. There's less mortgage, underwriting going on, etc. So that's kind of pulled back. But they were doing these a lot of parties. Number 3, waning on the quantitative side, waning demand. When annual job growth is less than annual construction. So we know that house price appreciation, job growth, wage growth a whole bit. House price appreciation and construction in the past has far outpaced that, so your wages and your job growth hasn't been as strong. We see that changing right now. So again, that's already happened. So we'll move on here. Number 4, creative mortgages. So of course, back in the day, we had tons of creative mortgages. Now we're seeing option arms coming back. We're seeing some of these, B of A doing some of those, 100% down, 100% loans, no down money, no down payment money loans in specific areas of the country. So when mortgage is, or when mortgage underwriting or mortgage origination is lacking, we see creative stuff come up, which shows those markets getting desperate. On the other side, the quantitative side, falling sales. So yeah, we've seen sale trends slow down. We've seen less mortgage, less purchase applications, less refinance applications. We've seen sales slow down for the past how many months now? Existing home sales every month has had less and less. Inventory is rising, of course, and we're just seeing less closed sales, less pending sales. So we're seeing that on the existing home side. We're also seeing that on the new construction side, having all that inventory now. So yeah, that's actually happening. So we're looking at, a lot of the signs in the last housing bubble are happening once again in this housing bubble. Truck stop feasibility. What does this mean? Same thing. When your land acquisition VP brings you a deal in the city you've only visited once or twice. So we're just seeing everybody looking at opportunity to put something under contract and buy something. Why? Because you just think it's going to keep going up in price. On the quantitative side, failing or falling builder stock prices. When home builder stocks are off 15% more than the overall market and insiders are selling. So we know that the past couple of years, home builder stocks have been taking a beating. They have inventory, they have supply chain issues, they've raised their price points, but their stocks are down or have decreased over the past year or so, especially the past few months. So that's an example of what's happening in the marketplace right now that does affect the overall housing market. So by the way, guys, if you appreciate the information I provide in my channel, if you could help it grow, if you could hit that subscribe button, I'd thank you very much. Those of you who think you're subscribers, if you could reaffirm your subscription, because I lose subscribers every day. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate the views. All right, going to number 6 here, lazy underwriting. So yeah, basically here, when you are outbid by someone who's told to buy the land deal no matter what, or your bank or equity partner does whatever. I forget what that they don't really expand on that there. But basically, when we see lazy underwriting or we see things that are sliding like debt to income ratios and stuff like that, they're looking at other credit sources using, other bills to establish credit scores and things like that. You have lazy underwriting, which we had back in the day. So it's happening again now. Rising home equity cash out. So yeah, we certainly had refinancing going on big time. That slowed down because of the rate increases. We had massive refinancing and cash out refis back in the last housing crisis. Guess what's happening again right now? Now HELOCs, home equity lines of credit, HELOCs are making a comeback because a HELOC is not necessarily a second mortgage. It's a revolving credit facility. It's an equity line on your house, which allows you to pull money out and put it back in. And whatever you pull out, you're just going to make interest-only payments for a certain period of time. So it's just, there's no real fixed mortgage or fixed payment over a course of X number of years. That's what a revolving credit line is on your property. So because interest rates are up and refis are down, we've now seen a resurgence in that HELOC activity. This is exactly what happened at the end of the last housing crisis, or what pushed it over the edge. Everyone thinks it was subprime mortgages that started the whole play. Subprime, or what was the whole reason? Subprime started the issues, but subprime only made up about 20% of all the overall loans that were faulty or had foreclosed on or issues the last housing crisis. The majority were cash out refis, just refis, cash out refis, and HELOCs. That was what kind of hurt the market and pushed us over the edge. So definitely we're seeing a repeat of that right now. Number 7, what we got here, the new urban paradigm shift. So basically everyone's thinking real estate. Everyone wants to become a developer. Everyone's building a house. Everyone's doing rent to own. So essentially everyone gets in the game. The paradigm, the mind shift goes down to, if you don't get in, you're going to FOMO. You're going to fear of missing out of some opportunity. That happens. Number 7 on the quantitative side, they call it impossible market share. When 10 builders announce they will be in the top 5. So that basically, I don't know if we have that right now, but essentially, we've seen a lot of aggressive building with, a lot of groups over the past couple of years. Now they're sort of taking a beating right now. So we'll see how that plays out. Next one, number 8, on the qualitative side, booming real estate careers. So clearly, when real estate agent is the fastest growing occupation. There you go. And yeah, so real estate agents, basically that number surges with respect to home price appreciation. So everybody wants to jump in and get a piece of the action. That's typically what happens. So last housing crisis, we surged to about 1.55 million real estate agents. Then we contracted afterwards. We're about 1.6 and change now. So we're over the mark at the last housing crisis. So we fell back and we surged again. So everyone's a real estate agent now. As time goes on, that number will contract as well. So, but we're seeing that again. When it's again when the market's good and everything is pacing and bubbling, everyone wants to get in the piece of the action. Simple as that. Mortgage defaults and ARMs. So mortgage defaults are increasing. They are there. We don't talk about them much because the housing narrative doesn't pick it up that often, but it does really happen. So mortgage defaults are increasing. We have this sort of, I don't know what you could call it. It's a very difficult statistic to get our hands around. It's not really well reported. It's based on extrapolations from samples and this and that. So there's no real true number to sort of focus on. I think I've shown you guys many times that little press release that came out from the White House a couple of years ago that suggested, approximately 10 million people were not paying, or 10 million homeowners were not paying their mortgage. So again, these little nuggets slip out. So this is why we're in a bubble. It's not being, there's forbearance, there's loan mods, there's workout plans, etc. But they're only good for so long, and a lot of people bail on those as well too. So we're going to see our fair share of foreclosures coming. With respect to ARMs, well, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the adjustable rate mortgage is back. So the rates are high. They're going to get you in with a teaser rate because now you can qualify for a mortgage. You just hope that those rates fall the next 1 or 2 years. Or if they increase, you're going to be back in the foreclosure situation. Now, of course, the option ARMs were one of the biggest culprits in the subprime mortgage chaos and meltdown that happened, because people would get qualified based on the current rate structure and not get qualified on the option in a year or two from now when the rates went up. That's the problem. So fixed income people who are buying homes were being qualified on the first rate, not the second rate, and that caused your problem right there. So we have foreclosures are coming. I've talked about 3 waves of foreclosures, and I've told you that option ARMs are already here again. All right. Reality TV. Did we see a lot of reality TV shows back in the day? We certainly did. They're from anything from flip this house in different locations to I want to buy a vacation home or a beachfront or a lake house. I mean, they're everywhere, and we know what's going on there. Are they kind of scripted? Maybe a little bit scripted. I do have some experience with some of that. And some stuff I'm going to talk about in the future with respect to reality TV. Okay, so historic margins on the quantitative side, when gross margins on multiple projects exceed 35%. So yeah, if you can fix and flip and make some big margins, or make some big margins, that things are rising. You know what I mean? You're buying at a good price, you're doing your improvements and selling at a higher price, highest and best use, making improvements, whatever. So quantitative, if you got those big numbers, they're in a bubble. There's average returns on investments and returns on projects and things. When they get too out of whack, it's too good of a thing, and there's going to be some contraction on that. So that's what's going to happen. That's number 9. So we got reality TV and historic margins. The last one, number 10, what do we got here? We've got excessive investment. So basically, an example here, when you improve 500 lots when you only need 150 this year, or worried about filling your land pipeline for the next 5 years. So yeah, you're maybe overbuying, or you're putting all your eggs in one basket for this potential windfall, and you're not foreseeing how things could change in the future and take you down the other path here. It's on the qualitative side. Quantitative side, developer profit disappears. When builders are willing to develop their own lots for no increase in profitability. So that's a situation. A lot of the builders now have their own lots. They buy their own land. A lot of builders are working with hedge funds to put up build-to-rent communities. So, it's an example of sort of what happens in the marketplace. You get to the point where, you've made your money on your first set of land, and then now things have changed. You're breaking even or even losing. So maybe overall you do okay, but on an individual basis, you're not doing that well as time goes on. So basically what they sort of said right now is that we have 8 of the 10 on the qualitative side are here, and 8 of the 10 on the quantitative side are here. So this group of 73 executives that basically this is what they said. This is how they qualify what a housing market bubble is. And right now we have 16 out of 20 of these sort of items or points checked off. So they're actually here. All right. So what's 16 out of 20? That's about 80%. So 80% of the things that would, the signs that would indicate we have a housing bubble are present right now. And again, this is not from anybody who has any, what I'm looking for. Like, I mean, this group's a consultant group. They consult with builders. They consult with hedge funds. They consult with the government. They consult with large investor buyers. They consult for a group of large investor buyers that I know. I do read their stuff. They talk about a number of different things. It's the John Burns consulting firm. I've never talked to anybody at that firm, nor have met John Burns personally, but I've seen some of the stuff they produce, and it's pretty good information. So I just found that this was interesting because again, I remember I actually have this from 2013 on one of my computers somewhere, and I look at it occasionally and I kind of laugh at it, and I'm just surprised they put this out again. So they basically last month, September, I guess, reissued this for today. I guess they kept the same, I guess you could say, the same criteria, but it's just a matter of whether that criteria hit for this time of, and we're talking, how many years? 2013. So we're talking 9 years ago when they produced it. Here we are 9 years forward, and we're pretty much in the same spot, save for 4 out of 20 things that maybe aren't quite enough to satisfy being on the list for sure. But that's the scoop, guys. So I got to laugh. It's the way it is. I can tell you that things are picking up right now. Out looking at properties a lot more, starting to do more deals. It is what it is for the real estate market. That's what happens. So I always tell people, get in the game because the market's changing. Market's changing right in front of us. Now, obviously, this video is brought to your friends at gethousingdata.com. That's gethousingdata.com. This is my affiliate link for foreclosure.com, who I partner with. So if you want to check out the distressed properties in your backyard, go to gethousingdata.com. Again, my affiliate link takes you to foreclosure.com. You can check out the information. Pretty much validates everything I'm talking about here. You can see the new foreclosures that are happening, the foreclosure auctions, tax deeds, stuff like that. All the distressed stuff in your own backyard off this website is very economical, great for taking a look and seeing what's going on in your area. Okay, guys, pretty much going to wind up right now. Obviously, I'm looking for more agents to work for my firm, in Florida particularly. Looking also to open up some other locations in the very near future. So I'm looking to partner up with people and talk about that. I love to talk with other investor buyers who want to do stuff. Looking for private lending partners because a lot of these projects we're going to do on our own and get involved. So if you're looking to put your money to work, we buy low, sell high type of thing. So we're good at what we do. So reach out to us. Looking to establish more contacts and syndications and equity funds. Obviously, doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes in the crypto world, and I mean not necessarily not Bitcoin. People associate Bitcoin with crypto, but I'm talking more on the blockchain side and sort of moving our firm and being able to buy and sell properties, via the blockchain using crypto to purchase them. So we got a lot of stuff working, a lot of people who know what they're doing in that realm. So very interesting stuff here. New program, Foreclosure Fortunes, is out and running right now. Pre-sales discount, jump on board. Get in now before the masses. I can tell you without a doubt that you'll find a lot more people will be looking to get in on this market on the pre-foreclosure, foreclosure stuff very, very shortly, all right? The housing market is moving faster than anticipated. It's changing faster than anticipated. It's going to correct faster than anticipated, and then it will crash faster than anticipated. So please be aware of that. Don't miss out on the second chance at a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That's the website. You want to check it out. Also, as I said, reach out to me at randy@luxuryshortsales.com if you want to talk. If you want that report, you want to talk real estate, properties, whatever you need to do, I'll help you. Just reach out. Okay, guys, thank you once again for the views, likes, comments. Please share the video with your family and friends. We are past the housing bubble now. We're in the correction/crisis component. We've gone over the edge, so things are really happening, guys. I'll look forward to speaking with you in a couple of days. Take care.